I'm so hesitant to do this video. I'm just so hesitant to do this video. Let's talk about the big fat white elephant in the room. Or I guess I should say the big fat orange elephant in the room. Oh my God. I can't. All right, look. I didn't pay attention to politics for most of my life because I hated all those politicians. And then I became an adult and I started paying attention. I fell for the hope and change. Now, I'm a hopeful guy. I'm realistic, but I never will relinquish hope. Without hope, may as well, you know. Um, so I am always hopeful, and I've always been hopeful, and I've always wanted America to regain her rightful place as the shining beacon on the hill. But I'm also a realist, and I realize that it may turn out that the U.S. government is absolutely the bad guy here. But I fell for the hope and change that that guy from Kenya said he was bringing. And you'd think after none of the hope and none of the change came to pass that I would have learned my lesson. No, I didn't. And I say it like that because I saw things progressing. You know, we did 8 years of that craziness. And what was coming down the pipeline was that bitch Hillary. Oh my God. Uh, there was no way in hell's half acre that I was going to vote for that woman. I hate her. It's always been the lesser of two evils. My entire political life, it's always been the lesser of two evils. Which one do you want? But then all of a sudden, this fucking cartoon character, and that's the way I thought of him. I didn't really watch The Apprentice. I watched a couple episodes and realized I didn't want to watch any more of that. We all knew, you know, Donald Trump, American playboy, you know, hanging with the rich and the famous and the hot and the. Everybody loved Trump. I didn't really hate the guy. I didn't dislike. I didn't really give a. I didn't care. He was some TV character. Then he gets on the campaign trail and he is talking about all the things I want. I want an attitude of America first. I want an attitude of no more foreign wars for no reason. I want no more foreign aid. He's talking about all these things that I want. Well, if you give me the choice between these are the things he's saying that I want, and that lunatic that has made it clear she was going to get us in a nuclear war with North Korea, well, the lesser of two evils. And then Q came along. I paid attention. I followed it. I followed it from way early on. I used it as a to-do list of things to look up, check out, dig into. And I did. Sometimes wish I didn't. And I trusted the plan. There is still part of me that hopes there is a plan. Because if there's not, then we are foobarred hard. And then Trump tells us that there is no Epstein list, and it's a hoax. Tap, tap, tap. I'm out, y'all. And it's not that I'm not really turning on Trump. I'm just realizing that he's no better than any of them. Lesser of two evils is still evil. I'll be very clear. I hope that there's a plan to combat evil. I hope that Donald Trump's part of it. I hope that the last, 8, 9 years of my life haven't been for nothing. But if it turns out that he's part of the Epstein class, then to hell with him too. Wood chipper. Wood chipper. That's exactly the way I feel. I don't care who it is. I do not care who it is. If they're involved in anything nefarious involving children, then to hell with them. Hot ass Melania, Donald Crazy Trump, I do not care. But if this be the case, and it appears that Donald Trump is compromised in some way, I don't know if he's Milikowski's bitch or what. I don't know. Wait, y'all do know that Benjamin Netanyahu is really Benjamin Milikowski, right? Y'all know that? Yeah. The more you know. But if this is the case, and all evidence is leading me to believe that Donald Trump got flipped. I don't know if they got a pick. I don't know. All I can do is see what I see, think what I think. And what I've been thinking for the last few months is I'm not really going to pay attention to all this nonsense because it's all nonsense. Politics? Look, they say Caesar created the bread and circus to keep people docile and entertained and distracted. And we have that today, of course. You look around you in your social group, well, you got the folks that are really into sports. They know who's on first and what's on second, and I don't know who's on third. And they know who the first baseman of the 1932 Cleveland... those people. And then you got the folks that everything is politics. Politics. Well, politics is just bread and circus for a different part of the group. My concern is not the politics of the day. My concern is how are we going to get rid of all the pedophiles? Who is in charge enough to bring charges against the pedophiles? When it's the people running the show, that's like busting a cop that works for internal affairs. Who's going to bust him? The guy that sits across the desk from him? That's pretty doubtful. But I mean, really, that's the situation we're in. We got the people that are supposed to be protecting us from bad guys. Turns out they are the bad guys. Let's dive into the comments, folks. I'll pay close attention to this one, and let's talk about it.